Hello?
Hi, am I in?
Hello. Hi, I can hear
Hi,
you now. How are you?
good.
I mind if I call you Zach, or is there a preference on your name?
I don't really care.
You don't really care, okay. I could call you anything. I could call you Cookie.
Right?
Okay, well, do you mind me just asking how you found me? Because I'm not really familiar with your name, and you, you know, came to email to ask for a debate. So, do you mind just giving a let me know where you found me?
I found you on YouTube.
Oh, okay. You did find me on YouTube. Okay. And do you mind if we just jump right into it? That you is that all right with you?
That's fine.
Cool, based. All right. So you said to me, so we could get to the cosmic skeptic thing, perhaps if we get through these first two things. And
Yep.
I just need to warn you that I think these meets last about 45 minutes. Then I have to make a new one. So if I have to cut it off and it lasts longer, then I'll just give you another link. Is that all right?
Uh, all right, that's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. So you've made two claims. That one that it's fine to eat meat, and by that I believe you mean that it's morally justified or morally acceptable to eat meat. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
mean, it's fine to eat meat if that's what you want.
Okay, and then the second one is disruptive activism doesn't work. That's your other claim, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll firstly go through the it's morally acceptable to eat animals. So I'm imagining what we're saying from that. We're not just saying like something like roadkill, or if your granny says that you can you can eat her when she's dead. Like it's more, oh, it's fine to kill an animal to eat them. Is that what you mean?
Uh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm imagining, yeah. So you've worked that out in your head that that's morally justified. So I guess my question, firstly, would be, how have you come to that conclusion?
Hmm. Uh, well, I mean, I don't know. Just I kind of just ate meat my whole life.
Okay, yeah. So same. I stopped when I was 18. So I ate animals first 18 years of my life. So I guess though, would you say that doing something for a long time would make it morally acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay, so people have been from the dawn of time killing each other, assaulting each other. Would you say that that's right because people have done it for so long?
Well, no, but this is different though. It's
Well, what would be the difference, the symmetry breaker in that
oh, I mean,
instance?
I don't know. Humans are just uh,
So there's something about a human you're saying that's different from other species of animals that makes it
yeah, yeah.
different.
Humans are on, they're on top of the food chain. And,
So like any other species of animal, so we could say a giraffe, we could say a dog, a rhinoceros, a cat, you can do what you want to them. You can stab them, you can kick them, you can boil them alive. That's absolutely morally acceptable in your view.
mm, well, I don't know. Not really.
No, I wouldn't think so either. I think that would be like if I were to sit right here and right now, turn on my camera, and I had a dog in my hand, and I just like decided to like bolt gun them in the head. Would you think I'm doing something morally right there or morally justified?
No.
No. Okay. So it's not just a human. So there's nothing special about humans. It's because there's something about a dog as well that's meaning that would be wrong. So what is it about the dogs and the humans that make you think, oh god, that's bad if I did that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Take your time if you want to. That's fine.
Uh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, see the thing is, so shall I tell you why I'm vegan? That might help.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at humans, I'm looking at dogs, I'm looking at all these animals, and I'm realizing, okay, well, actually, if they're a sentient individual, You know what I mean, like when I'm saying sentient, right? We
Yeah.
both agree upon, like, having a subjective experience. So
Mhm.
all of these animals who we take to be sentient are having that experience. So, like, 2 days ago, I went to a vigil where pigs were going to be sent to be put in a gas chamber. So I saw them about 10 minutes before they would be gassed and they would suffocate and burn from the inside out. That would be a horrific experience for them. That would be a horrific experience for a human. That would be a horrific experience for a dog. It's not suddenly different for a a human or a dog. And so for me, I'm seeing that there's no relevant moral difference between those other species of animals, like cows, chickens, pigs, that would mean, oh, I can stab them and eat their bodies. But suddenly, oh, if it's a dog or a human, that's suddenly wrong. Like, there's nothing special about a dog or a human that makes it any different. What do you think?
I guess. But why do you make videos on people who aren't vegan? You
Why do I
seem to
make
make
videos?
you seem to make a lot of videos on Moist Critical.
I
Or
do.
Pink.
Oh yeah, I make so with Moist Critical. See, I do watch some of his video. I watched one of his videos today on Susan Wojcicki or
I mean,
whatever her name is. So I do watch his videos, but I find him especially a good person to talk about because I don't know if you know about his video that he made like quite a few years ago on So Young. Do you know that?
oh yeah, vegan
Yeah,
gains.
yeah.
Call them out.
So yeah, obviously what she was doing was atrocious. She's eating animals alive. But when I know what happens in the animal agriculture industry to all these animals, like I've been to farms, I've seen them suffering. They go through long-term suffering. They, have all these sorts of things happen to their bodies. Like pigs get their tails cut off, as do lambs. These baby animals getting parts of their body cut off, their testicles as well. They get rid of those with pigs. They break away their teeth so that they don't bite each other because they go insane and start like hurting each other because they're confined in all these spaces. So I'm seeing that, that he's saying, oh, he literally um said that she was like a piece of shit. Like, he said those, he had so much disdain for a person abusing animals. But then the literal next video was him doing a KFC like mukbang, or cooking, cooking KFC. And it's like, God, what happened to the chickens? If you really wanted to like weigh it up on, a scale of suffering, they probably went through a hell of a lot worse. Their entire life has been confinement, has been like mutilation, has been being surrounded in an unnatural pecking order, whereas this animal who's been eaten alive has been pulled out of the ocean and then eaten alive, which is also horrible. So, and then the way he went all defensive, and then constantly he's making these videos about animal abusers. Like, every time he does one, I just want to remind him that he's still participating in a horrific industry that he should have a problem with if he has a problem with these things. So I wouldn't do it like randomly. I only do these videos on Charlie or Asmongold when they talk about like animal suffering, or when they have a dead body and they're cooking them up. Sorry for the long comment. But yeah, is that how you found me, through a Moist Critical video?
Uh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I do like him, but I find this is a really bad spot, and that he gets really defensive about this. And I can't blame him too much because a lot of people do this. Like, we go through our lives eating all of these animals, and it's kind of weird. Really good people around us are doing the exact same thing. So it's like, well, these are good people. Like, they wouldn't be doing something as bad as abusing animals. So it can't really be abused. But you got to look at like what's actually happening, and you know, um, as you say, like, it wouldn't be justified to do this. What happens to these animals, to dogs or humans. So, like, why on earth would it be, you know, morally correct to do it to these animals that Charlie does it to by paying for them?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what happens to these like animal like what animals do you eat if you don't mind me asking?
Pretty much the same ones everyone eats: chicken,
Yeah,
pigs,
all of them.
cows. You know.
Okay. All right. And you eat dairy and
Oh
eggs and
yeah,
stuff? Yeah. Do you know much about these industries?
kind of. I saw Dominion.
You saw Dominion, yeah. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the animals aren't treated very well.
No. And it's like no matter what, like say say my neighbor who's technically free range, they live their life doing their own thing. If I went up to their door when they were 70 years old and I stabbed them, that'd still be wrong. So even if they were treated lovely and cuddled every single day before being stabbed or gassed so someone could eat them, it'd still be this horrific thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you like, if
Mhm.
animals live a good life and then you eat them at the end, and I don't really see an issue with that.
What do you mean eat them at the end? Do you mean kill them or
Like
like
they die.
when they die?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, so I mean, like emotionally, I wouldn't like the idea of somebody eating, the body of an old person or an old dog. But morally,
mhm.
nothing wrong with it. Morally, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of a disgusting emotional concept. But yeah, there can't be an industry really surrounding like waiting for animals to die and then I mean there could be it wouldn't be as big as and as cheap as it is now breeding these animals. They're killed at very young ages. A lot of the time they're basically infants or they're young children in the animal context, so it wouldn't be very profit. It'd be very expensive, and their flesh would taste very not good. Like a lot of the reason people eat like baby animals, like veal, calves, lambs, baby sheep, is because they're babies, so they've got tender, yummy baby flesh, which is disturbing, in my opinion.
I guess.
So, would you say that we've kind of got the first one out the way, or do you still think it's fine to eat
Eh,
animals?
well, I think you can do it if you want, but I don't know. If you want to go vegan, then that's fine.
Well, this is what's confusing. I mean, if I wanted to, I could go out and stab people, right? But it wouldn't. So when for me, when I hear that, it's not like I'm not trying to be mean, but it sounds kind of useless because anyone could go out and do anything, right? But do you think it's right for them to pay for that?
Oh,
What was that? Sorry, you were far from the microphone.
sorry, I'm trying to find my charger for my computer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're okay.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what were you saying?
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying I think that's kind of not needed to say that people could go out and do something because technically people could go out and do anything. They could go out and stab people. They really could if they wanted to, right? But what I'm more asking is do you think that's right for people to go out and like pay for animals to be killed or to be exploited in other ways?
If you want to go vegan, then that's fine. If you don't, then that's fine as well.
So see why this is a bit confusing for me though. Oh, sorry, I'm hearing myself back a little bit. Oh, it's gone now. It's a bit confusing for me because you're saying it is fine, but just a moment ago, I asked you, would it be fine to do this to dogs and humans? You said no, and then I haven't heard what it is about the pigs or the cows or the chickens that makes it so different or fine to do it to them.
Well, I mean, there's really
That's why I'm a bit.
nothing. There's really nothing different about them. It's just kind of like, I mean, people are morally inconsistent. I feel like I kind of just accepted that at this point. Like,
Yeah, people are morally inconsistent, but that doesn't mean that it is justified, right? And imagine if someone were like doing the same thing to you or someone you cared about, and they just turned around and said, "Look, well, people are inconsistent." You wouldn't accept that, would you?
uh,
No. This is the thing. If you wouldn't want this for yourself, I don't know why. I understand why this happens psychologically. I believe, but though we have these kind of blocks in our psyche that make us kind of detach from what's happening, we really wouldn't want someone to like victimize us in this way. And if we want to be fair to others and see a world that doesn't do these things and wouldn't do it to us, then the same is the case for these other animals. Like why should we be protected and not have that a real risk to us, while there's all these others, there's tens of billions of animals every single year, land animals. Oh, sorry, I keep hearing myself back. It's proper distracting me. Do you have like headphones or something?
No, sorry.
Yeah,
I got another question for you. What do you think of Dad, the vegan teacher?
Do you mind? Have you got headphones? And then I'll answer, because I keep hearing myself back. It's just,
no, sorry.
It's hurting my brain.
Sorry, I don't have any.
Do you mind maybe muting when you're not speaking? That could be another thing.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Thank you. That being a teacher, we've had back and forth. We have maybe a different way of doing stuff. I think she's reached a lot of people, and a lot of people have seen, Dominion and, the other atrocities that happen as a result of her. She said some things I don't really like, but, I do understand that there's, in any good movement, there's a range of different people who do different tactics, but I wouldn't personally do what she does. Then again, I'm very much less known and, not as impactful as she is. So you are muted, by the way. I don't know if you're... Can you unmute? Are you able?
Sure.
Zach's stuck on the mute button. Oh, you're back. I thought you'd like been stuck. Yeah. Does that answer the question fine?
Yeah. I personally don't like her.
Yeah.
Like most people don't.
Yeah. No, I know she's not very popular, but I think it's kind of annoying because people will say stuff like, "I'm going to eat an animal because of you," and it's just like, I'm hearing myself back again. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's just kind of annoying. It's like, even if she is the most annoying person and everybody hates her and she's the most hated, she's not the victim in this equation. Like, she's not the one, being systemically brutalized, mutilated, exploited, and killed. It's these animals. So even if people don't like her, I just don't get why, people will be like, "Oh, I'm not going to go vegan because of you," because again, it's not about her. So that is kind of annoying. I understand again why people do it, but I just don't appreciate it at the same time, if that makes sense.
I think she like kind of pushes people back from veganism.
I mean, perhaps she does, but then at the same time, she's probably. I have seen examples of people who have changed, their minds and changed their behavior as a result of seeing her. So, she could well, but I don't know if either of us have the evidence for that. Do you know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, no, back to the eating animals part, because we didn't quite finish that. Like, we're still kind of stuck because, you're saying it's, if people want to, it's fine. But if people don't want to and they want to go vegan, that's also fine. And as you've said, there's no real difference between these animals that would make it okay. So really, it's not fine. It's not actually morally fine, is it?
I think it's fine.
How so?
I don't know. I feel like people should just have that choice.
So you think people should have the choice to go, so I should have the choice to stab a dog on camera without consequence?
But you're not going to stab a dog on camera. I'm not stabbing.
But
I don't stab a cow on camera.
Should I have the choice? What's that?
Well, no, but eating meat is not the same as like me taking a cow and just stabbing it right in front of you.
Well, so of hitmen, right? So like when someone pays a hitman to kill somebody else, they're still culpable as the murderer. So essentially, if we are working in a capitalist system where we're paying into industries, and then we're giving them the money, we're supporting their actions, and if their actions mean that exactly what they need to do is kill an animal or exploit them, you can use that kind of analogy to explain what's happening there. So it's not the precise same thing. There is a slight separation, but the separation isn't all that much in the sense that you are paying somebody to kill somebody else. Like
Well,
that
I
has
mean,
to happen.
you pay your taxes, right? They use the money. The government uses the money you pay your taxes to fund the
I
industry.
have to pay my taxes though. If I don't pay my taxes, I will be sentenced to prison.
Yeah, but you're technically paying for animals to be killed if you pay your taxes. 'Cause the government uses that money to fund the animal
Well,
industry.
yeah, but say for example, like this would be like so. Say for example, do you think that you're responsible for war crimes? That you're responsible, for every single person who's killed as a result of a soldier because our taxes go to military efforts?
Uh, no, what?
So that'd be the same thing, right? You're not responsible for that.
Guess I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be the exact same thing. So we can't be held responsible. There's a degree of separation there. That's completely out of my hands. I have to pay tax, man. Before the 31st of July, 31st of January. I need to do that. That's out of my control completely. But what is in my control is I can go to the shop and I can either buy someone's body and pay into that and pay for more animals to be killed and support that with my money, or I can pay for a plant-based alternative.
Well, also another thing is
Like, that is in my hands.
just going to a store and just buying something there, just buying anything in that store. They use that money to fund the animal industry.
Yeah, but again, I cannot control that. It's not like I have like a perfectly vegan shop around me that can have all of my food. That's just not a thing. Like again, I can't control what they do with that. There's the degree of separation again. Do you think that if you go to a shop and they sell a product that means that for some reason orangutans get slaughtered, do you think that you're responsible for those orangutans being slaughtered if you buy a product that wasn't even that?
Well, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, if you go to a store that's not vegan, you buy something at that store, you're still supporting that store, which uses money to fund the animal industry. And
Do you know of a fully vegan store around you?
uh, no, but then just don't.
No, me neither.
If you were truly vegan, you would like live outside, like eat leaves or what.
Why? Why?
You can also argue that living in a house is technically not vegan, or just because like they
So
cut
so
down
you're
forests
telling me
and they kill animals.
no, so yeah, but this is the degree of separation thing. So if you want to go down this line, every single thing that you're going to say to me, I could just turn around back at you and say, well, are you responsible for the deaths of these human beings because you live in a house or because you don't live outside? Like,
And also another thing is
do you think you're killing people by living in a house
uh
and
no,
paying into people being killed by living in a house? No. So why is that the case for me?
well uh, I don't know, but they kill
Can I
animals.
just can I just like I feel like you might be forgive me if I'm wrong and sorry I can hear myself again. It's killing me. Thank you so much, like. Um, uh, I think you might be grasping at straws. That's how I feel. Like, when something's happening and you're just like, oh, I'm trying to find a way for me to still be right. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when I'm tired and I'm not feeling it, I'll I might grasp at straws and be like, yeah, well, what about this? What about that? And they're not really things that like actually engage with the argument. Like you're not responsible for, all the deaths and the car accidents and the killings that happen on the road just by you driving a car. You know that there's a difference between just driving your car around, not killing anybody, versus, actually intentionally driving into people. You know that. I know that. So why are we doing this? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe move on from this? Because,
Yeah.
as you've said, like, I think we both agree, there's nothing about these animals that morally justifies it.
Yeah, fair enough,
So
I guess.
I guess, do you want to? Sorry.
I guess. Yeah, what else would we
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. Okay. You said that disruptive activism doesn't work.
It does not. You know, like Tash Peterson. You know how she always does those annoying protests that nobody likes. Yeah,
Hmm.
those don't work. Like nobody cares at all, and it just makes people not want to be
Well,
vegan.
how do you know that that's absolutely the case? Sorry.
Well, I mean, you can kind of watch one of her videos and just see, like, yeah, no, she's just literally nobody cares at all.
Well, I could literally dispute that by, like, I saw a Tash Peterson video like a few weeks ago, and at the bottom there were like a few comments that said, Tash, you made me go vegan. I
Yeah, I
saw
know
your
there's a few
videos and I hadn't really
comments.
seen any.
There's a few comments, but
So she,
I feel like most of the comments are
I guess we
trolls.
can't say nobody cares then, can we? Do you know what I mean?
Most of her comments are trolls.
Um, yeah, most of them are, but that doesn't mean that, like, nobody's listening. And even when someone's trolling, I've heard about some of my trolls, and apparently they actually like me, but they just try and fuck with me. So you don't just because someone's trolling, you don't really know whether or not, there's some trolls like vegans are annoying trolls. I get people on here pretending to be trolls who are actually vegans, and so you don't, just because someone's trolling doesn't mean you know what's actually happening. But do you know about, like, the history of disruptive activism and protests and stuff like that at all?
Yeah.
Like, do you know about, like, the most famous one, like Rosa Parks with the Montgomery bus boycott? She's a
Yeah.
very popular example, or like the suffragettes movement. There's other ones as of recently, like the Keystone Pipeline. There's like loads of examples of disruptive activism. I don't know why you're saying it doesn't work. I'm a bit confused.
I don't know. I feel like with vegans, it doesn't really work.
Well, we've had a few things like fur bans that have been attributed to, like, the constant pressure campaigns, constant disruptions. Like, protesting does work. It doesn't work immediately. It's not this thing that, like, oh my god, you get a few annoying vegans here and then suddenly people are going to listen. It's over years. It's you need like a good amount of numbers. This is why vegans are constantly trying to get other vegans to be active. But disruption definitely does work. It has examples. It doesn't work every time. I'm hearing myself back again, but sorry, it's your turn to
Um,
talk.
I, I still don't think it works.
But so I'm giving you examples of things that, where it has actually worked in the past. So what are you using? So I've got, like, evidence of things that have worked. So I'm just wondering what your evidence is that it doesn't work. Like that, when you say doesn't work, just to be clear, are you saying it absolutely just cannot, you cannot reach your goal if you do anything disruptive?
Well, I think it actually could work in some instances.
Okay, so I guess then we don't agree. I guess we don't disagree, rather. Like, it can work in some instances. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will. You with me, Zach?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. We don't disagree on that. It's not going to work every time, but there are instances where it has worked, and it could well work. Even further for the animal rights movement. There have been some things for animals that have been attributed to, pressure campaigns, disruptive activism. So it has worked, but obviously it hasn't achieved our full goal. But yeah, it could well work. You never know. I think it's more a combination of loads of different things. Like lobbying, disruptive activism, legislation, stuff like that. But it all comes together to make this movement, and that's what makes it a movement. So I guess we've kind of addressed both those things. Were you wanting to maybe talk about Cosmic Skeptic?
Yeah. So he's not vegan anymore, I heard.
Yeah, so he's given a very vague comment about how he can't maintain it health-wise, but he hasn't said what that is. And he's also said that he doesn't think that boycotting or being vegan is something that will contribute to the abolition of animal agriculture or something like that. Well, he said it's not appropriate. I don't know what the appropriateness. I don't even know what that really means, but I'm guessing that's what it means.
I kind of feel like the reason why he's not vegan anymore has nothing to do with health reasons. I kind of feel like it's because
Yeah, I agree.
the community is very toxic. I'm gonna say it right now, the vegan
Oh,
community is toxic.
I don't think it would be for Cosmic Skeptic. So I think with Cosmic Skeptic, he's actually an example of somebody who's had such positive respect and adornment from the vegan community. He was immediately welcomed in. The biggest influences in the movement were immediately having him on podcasts, collaborating with him. He had a few people who disagreed with him, but there were so many people who were patrons of him, supporting him. I don't know what the community has to really like. If you wanted to attribute it to the community, that would be like the worst kind of person to attribute it to.
Yeah, maybe he saw that vegan teacher video. That's why.
Do you know of a movement or a group online that is just fully lovely and it hasn't got any toxicity in it whatsoever?
What?
Any big movement?
What group doesn't have any toxicity in it?
Mm-hmm.
What group is it?
Because as far as I'm aware, the gaming community is really toxic. Like any social justice movement has toxic people in it. Any YouTuber community has toxic people in it. God, you go to a video of a dog, like a really wholesome video, there's people being toxic and arguing under it. I just don't know of anywhere on the internet that is this fully wholesome place where there's no toxic people whatsoever, and where the community doesn't fight or feel uncomfortable sometimes. Can you think of any examples?
Not really.
No, me neither. So I don't think it would be.
I kind of feel like the whole internet kind of unites against vegans, including myself.
Oh yeah, we're one of the most hated. We're one of the most hated groups. Yeah. No, that's the thing. First they laugh at you, second they hate you, and then they're on board with you. There's some quote that's kind of like that. People are going to hate us because we I can talk to this. Vegans, when I first heard of them, made me feel guilty. They made me feel bad because I was like, I'm an animal lover. Like, you're not going to tell me that I don't love animals. So they made me feel guilty. So I made fun of them. I thought, oh my God, they're just like leaves, sticks. They're like, losers, but so I did it as well. And now I'm one of them who everyone hates. So
you're not as hated as that vegan teacher, of course.
Oh God, no. But that's the sacrifice she makes. Like in her, probably I read her mind, but she's thinking, you know what, I'm going to be hated, but this is really important because whatever you want to say about her, she seems to very much care about the animals. She seems to very much want them to stop being exploited and killed, and she is one of those people who thinks like any press is good press as long as you can get that attention. She wants the attention on this subject, and I mean she so many people, so many YouTubers made videos about her, and it gave other vegan YouTubers a chance to then reach out to these people who were making videos mocking her, so we could actually make it about the animals. And so many people have watched Dominion as a result of her. Like, so she's just probably seeing this as a sacrifice. I'm pretty sure she said as much, where she's like, look, I don't care if people hate me. This is what I've got to do. And, I feel the same way, where I will make videos about people and it will go really badly and people will hate me. But you kind of got to do it to get some attention on the subject. Otherwise, people aren't going to really do very much very quickly.
You see the video where you saw Ben of the Week's video where he goes to her
I
house?
saw half of it. No, not even half, maybe a third. I got to the point where he said that she'd like done something to his shoes, and then I stopped.
He completely exposed her. She's still mad about that he exposed her.
I can't comment on it. I haven't seen the expose. Like from what I saw, he was just chilling at her house. That's all I've seen.
She's forced an Uber driver to be vegan or something. I don't know. It was kind of funny.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I haven't seen that, but yeah, with Cosmic Skeptic, what did you say about that? You said something about another thing I think we should debate also if it's okay to quit being vegan, like what Cosmic Skeptic did.
Yeah, and I
So
personally think it is.
so why is it okay to do that? Like, I guess you're saying it's morally justified to do that.
I mean, it's your choice, and I hate when people always say that, like, "Oh, he was never vegan to begin with." Like, that's so stupid.
I guess so. The issue with people like him is a lot of people had. Sorry, I can hear myself back again. Oh, thank you. A lot of people had an issue with his kind of code of ethics and the way that he seemed very much interested in the issue with factory farming rather than like the rights-based approach. And there's a lot of like disagreement about what makes somebody vegan to begin with, because it is a philosophy. And I think, anytime, like with any label, there is some kind of like, oh, if someone says there's something and they don't align with what that label means, it kind of rubs people the wrong way, because it's like, well, what's the point of using that term when there's other terms? So people did say that, but I just want to, we keep saying this of like, oh, it's their choice. So are you saying because somebody has a choice to do something, it's morally right for them to do that thing? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I guess.
So I could choose to kill my neighbor. So because I can choose to kill my neighbor, it's morally right.
Uh, I don't know. Not really.
No, so see the logic in that is it doesn't follow. So in one instance, you can't really believe that if I said that and then you think no, not really. So what is it about saying this that you feel some sort of loyalty to? Like you keep saying that, but you don't seem to believe it when I when I challenge it. Do you know what I mean?
I actually don't know. I just don't know. Uh,
Hmm. I mean, I have my theories, but I don't want to psychoanalyze. I don't want to sit here and psychoanalyze the behavior. All I can go by is what I did and what other people did. And what a lot of us did was we tried to make excuses when someone came along and said, no, this is wrong, because nobody really, for the most part, really wants to change their habit. Like habits are things that we find comfortable, and nobody really wants to admit they're wrong either. I literally had a man who works at the gassing facility that kills pigs tell me in my one of my most recent videos that he would happily kill and eat a human and kill and eat a dog. And he'd rather say that than just say to me, you know what, I'm doing something that is actually wrong or that I don't actually agree with. He would rather do that. So I think it's those two things. We try to make excuses so that we don't have to change. And we try to make excuses so that we don't have to be wrong, because we don't like the feeling of that. It's not nice to be wrong.
I guess. Uh,
Yeah. Well, was there anything else you wanted to really like touch upon, or like
Not really.
any questions or
No, not really. I mean,
okay, do you mind if I just ask you, have you tried many vegan products before, like vegan clothing or vegan food or
Oh,
vegan, like shampoo and stuff like that?
shampoo's not vegan.
So yeah, this is what people kind of forget when it comes to veganism. It's not just about food. That's why people call it a diet, and it's like that's not. But a lot
No, I
of
know like leather and stuff is not vegan. But
yeah,
I never knew shampoo.
yeah. So a lot of brands are vegan. Like a lot. It's not really that hard to find them. You just need to know, the brands in your area. But some of them aren't vegan because sometimes they might contain things like dairy or whatever. But a lot of the time they can be tested on animals. So they'll be like, they typically test them on bunny rabbits. They'll put the shampoo in their eyes because they can't cry. They don't have tear ducts. So they're not actually they will put like chemicals, painful. I don't know if you've ever had shampoo in your eyes, but they'll put
Yeah,
substances like
it
that
hurts
in
like
their
hell.
eyes, and they don't.
It hurts
Hmm?
like hell.
Yeah, it hurts like hell, and we tear up and cry to like get rid of it, but they can't do that. So they'll test on all sorts of animals as well, bunnies, pigs, dogs. Um, yeah, so that can be something that's not vegan. But yeah, I don't want to ever pay for a shampoo that meant little bunnies got their eyes, you know, poisoned essentially. But yeah, have you had vegan food?
Well, I mean, vegetables are vegan, so yeah.
Have you had like? I mean, you sound like you're from the US, are you? Do you mind
Yeah.
if you? Yeah. Well, there's a lot of US vegans in the chat who could probably testify to really good brands. Like, I don't know about you, but my diet, like today, I've had 3 vegan pork pies. I don't know if they're a thing in the US, but yeah, yesterday I had vegan steak. I eat a lot of processed food as well as vegetables. But there's loads of products out there, and they can actually be cheaper. Like yesterday, I found out that I didn't realize how expensive, cow burgers were these days. And with the raising prices of like eggs and other animal products, yeah, it's becoming cheaper and cheaper, and there's more products coming out as more people are buying them. So you should give them a shot. I think you should do it, Zach. You should do it.
I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Well, like, give it a shot, and like, I mean, if you have any questions, you know where I am. And just because you don't like somebody, like, just a good kind of point of call. Like this will take it or leave it, this advice. But I find that because I do still listen to people like Charlie, who I get annoyed by. I try my hardest to listen to people I don't like as well. It's a really good exercise because it helps you to kind of open your mind and try and work out what the truth is. So even if that vegan teacher or vegan booty rub you the wrong way because you don't like their ways, have a listen to what they're saying, because that's the most important part, right?
Yeah, I do.
You
I
do.
just don't care. Like,
I mean, you must have listened because you've come here and wanted to talk
yeah,
about this. So I do appreciate you coming to chat to me, and I had no idea who you were, so I was like, oh, who am I going to talk to today? But it's been very lovely, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat to me.
yeah. I make a lot of videos making fun of that vegan teacher and stuff.
Do you?
Yeah,
No, come on,
I'm
Zach.
actually recording right now, and I'm gonna put this on my channel.
Oh, based. Okay. Can you like tag me in it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. What's the title going to be? Are you going to be like destroying vegan teacher 2.0?
No, I don't know what the title's gonna be.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, yeah, feel free. Yeah. Put it on, tag me. It'd be cool to see on another person's channel. And yeah, if you ever want to if you think of something else and you think, nah, she's wrong about this, then just let me know.
All right.
All right. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then thank you so much for being here, and I'll speak to you maybe another time if you want.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Zach.